No, he couldn't even tell you, like, at any point when you speak to him what the problem is.
Damn.
I put him like where I put Marquise.
Oh, wow.
Like, they just have something.
A whole lot of chatter is flying right now, with people saying Lloyd Banks might be ready to dive headfirst into this entire situation involving 50 Cent versus Jim Jones, Fabolous, Dave East, and Mayo. The real question is, how legit is this talk actually? Banks has been on a run, dropping freestyle after freestyle all year long. So listen to this. Does that mean he's back in full battle mode again? Is he really that locked in at this moment? And be real for a second. Could Banks and 50 have quietly squashed their issues behind closed doors? Because if that's true, girl, something serious might be loading in the background. So what is Lloyd Banks really working on right now? And if this plays out, Fabolous could end up facing something he never saw coming, not even a little bit. Before we take this any further, pause for a moment and hit the like button, then press the hype button, because this conversation's about to heat up fast. Run those likes all the way up and show love, because it genuinely helps the channel move differently. Now listen, this is where things start getting spicy. A lot of people are convinced Lloyd Banks could slide out as a surprise appearance and aim directly at the Let's Rap About It podcast, with Fab catching most of the smoke. But you won't believe this. How likely is that really? Is this even realistic when you break it down? The truth is, 50 Cent and Lloyd Banks haven't exactly been on good terms lately, and most fans still don't even know the full reason why. It was never completely put out there, but Fifth has definitely thrown shots at Banks on Instagram before, and not too long ago, 50 finally spoke about their situation during an interview, so listen closely, because what he said matters.
No, he couldn't even tell you, like, at any point when you speak to him what the problem is.
Damn.
I put him like where I put Marquise.
Oh, wow.
Like, they just have something internally that's going on with them that gives them some sort of resentment towards me, and I just don't even care about what's going on.
Banks.
So now Fifth takes it a step further and straight up puts Banks in the same sentence as his son Marquise. And that comparison, ice cold. In his head, is finished, done. No calls, no texts, no relationship, nothing. He's basically saying this door is closed forever, no going back. He's putting Banks in the same category as his son Marquise, who Fifth believes was pulled away from him by his mother and told to completely cut 50 off. And that's wild, because by 50's own logic, he could have helped put his son in a position for real money. I'm talking serious money, life-changing money if things had gone another way. There's even chatter that Viv says her son-in-law, Keith, could have built a StockX-type app before StockX even became a thing. And if you know anything about StockX, you already know that the platform is huge, moving insane numbers every single year. That alone shows just how massive those missed opportunities really were. So now the big question doesn't change. Is Lloyd Banks actually about to step into this situation or nah? Nobody really knows if Banks and Fifth have talked behind the scenes, or if there's been any quiet reconnect at all. What we do know is this: Banks has been active, dropping music, staying visible, and Halloween Havoc is already out. And honestly, this could very well be his last Halloween Havoc release. I could be wrong, but I'm not gonna lie, that project was solid. The production was super clean, the beats were hitting, and everything sounded locked in. On top of that, Banks went on a crazy freestyle run that was just ridiculous. Lyrically, he's operating on a completely different level right now. And let's be real, everybody we've mentioned in this whole conversation would struggle to see him bar for bar. So the question is still sitting right there. Is Banks really about to pop out and inject himself into this beef, or is he fully locked into the music and letting everything else slide? Now hold up, because this is where things shift. Someone close to Banks, who also used to be tight with 50, has stepped forward with something to say, and his name is Trav.
It's the facts. The reason why him and Banks fell out, bro, because Banks' father died, bro, and Banks was sad, bro. All Banks wanted to do was him to pull up like, yo, bro, I'm sorry for your condolences. Because the nigga 50 don't come from no family, he tried to play like this fake role. Man, you ain't even know your father. So the nigga Banks like, what? What kind of nigga say? Cause you didn't know who your dad was. You're gonna say me. I didn't know my father. Nigga, you don't know what times I ever spent with my dad, nigga. Oh, I ain't fucking with that nigga. And that's what happened, bro. But see, me, bro, I'm gonna tell you who I am since y'all don't know who I am. I was a nigga that I didn't give a fuck. Like, you don't fuck with Banks? Banks still my nigga. I'm still gonna go there and say what's up. I'm gonna still go over there and say what's up to 50.
What's crazy is that Try is now moving around Jim Jones' circle and clearly tied into that side of things. And according to him, there's a real reason Banks and 50 aren't speaking anymore. But hold up, before we even unpack that, you already know the deal. Hit that like button and smash that hype button right now, because this part is important, and it really helps the channel in a major way. No cap. Let's lock in. Alright, now let's get straight into what Trav actually said. Trav is telling a story that not many people are putting out there right now, and that's because at one point he had real access to both sides, so his perspective hits different. According to Trav, the real tension started after Banks' father passed away, and Banks wasn't feeling how 50 responded to it. Trav says Banks felt 50 couldn't truly relate, pointing out that 50 never had a father himself, so the reaction just didn't sit right with him. Now listen, that could be true, or there could be way more layers to it. We honestly don't have the full picture here, and that's just keeping it real. Nobody actually knows what was said behind closed doors, and nobody is perfect either. Even fans have to admit that sometimes people we respect do things that rub us the wrong way. I respect 50 heavy, always have, but let's be honest for a second. There are times when he moves in ways that make people stop and say, huh? And that's normal. Everybody has flaws, even the ones you rock with. But based on how things look right now, Lloyd Banks doesn't seem interested in responding to anybody at all. As a matter of fact, it wouldn't even be shocking if Banks has a better relationship with Fabolous right now than he does with 50. And just imagine how wild it would be if Banks ended up dissing 50 instead of the other way around. That would flip the entire situation upside down. But honestly, that feels like a stretch. It really looks like Banks is just watching everything play out from a distance, staying quiet and keeping space. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, that's probably exactly what's happening. Banks are most likely chilling on the sidelines, but let's not ignore the facts. He's been extremely active this year. He's been dropping freestyle after freestyle, and these aren't lazy throwaways either. These are sharp, polished, next-level bars where Banks is really talking. I won't lie, it would be crazy to see Banks step back into the spotlight like that. Watching him jump into the mix would be wild, but realistically, that probably isn't happening. This whole battle narrative feels like it's getting stretched way out of proportion right now. Now, of course, 50 Cent is saying he's about to make a move, and he's hinting that something is coming soon. We already talked about the rumors of him popping up on Uncle Murda's 2025 wrap-up, so now it's really just a waiting game. I don't know how likely that is, but if it does happen, it will absolutely shake things up. And honestly, it doesn't even feel like Mayo or Dave East expected this to spiral the way it has. Fab and Jim look like the most prepared for whatever comes next, like they're already braced for impact. But the truth is simple. We don't actually know what's coming next at all. Right now, all anyone can do is watch, wait, and see how this unfolds. So at this point, everything is sitting in 50 Cent's hands. All eyes are on him to see if he's really gonna press the button or just keep applying pressure from the sidelines. He's been teasing action, dropping hints and letting the internet do the rest, which is exactly how 50 likes to operate. If he really shows up on Uncle Murda's 2025 wrap-up, that alone changes the temperature completely. That's not a random platform. That's strategic, loud, and guaranteed to spark reactions. And if names start getting mentioned, things could escalate fast. But the truth's simple. We don't actually know what's coming next at all. Right now, all anyone can do is watch, wait, and see how this unfolds. So at this point, everything is sitting in 50 Cent's hands. All eyes are on him to see if he's really gonna press the button or just keep applying pressure from the sidelines. He's been teasing action, dropping hints and letting the internet do the rest, which is exactly how 50 likes to operate. If he really shows up on Uncle Murda's 2025 wrap-up, that alone changes the temperature completely. That's not a random platform. That's strategic, loud, and guaranteed to spark reactions. And if names start getting mentioned, things could escalate fast. But here's the twist. 50 doesn't always need to name names. Sometimes the subliminals hit harder than direct shots, and that's where he becomes dangerous. Meanwhile, Jim Jones and Fabolous look like they're standing firm, not backing down, and clearly ready for whatever response comes next. Banks, though, still feels like the wild card, watching from a distance. He's locked into music, not mess, and that silence might actually be louder than any diss right now. One move could flip this entire situation upside down, and everybody knows it. At this point, nobody truly knows what's coming next, and that's the wild part. Whatever happens could come completely out of left field. Everybody keeps asking for 50 Cent to rap, but let's be real, we don't control when or if 50 even feels like rapping. That's just facts. I don't know if he's gonna rap, I don't know if he won't, and anyone saying they do is guessing. This isn't 2003 anymore. Fifth is a busy man with real business moves, real money, and real leverage. So the question stays wide open. What is the real response gonna be? What actually counters the squatters' rights freestyle? Nobody knows. A lot of people are hungry for a full-blown battle right now. Fans want chaos, they want lyrical smoke, they want sides chosen. But are they really gonna get that? That's the real question. And honestly, it doesn't fully feel like it's heading there, but I could be wrong. What makes the most sense from a business standpoint? That's always the angle 50 plays. For now, all we can do is speculate and watch it play out. Now let me hear from you. How do you feel about all of this? Do you think there's still a small chance Lloyd Banks jumps in, even with him and Fifth not being on good terms? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this situation keeps getting more interesting by the day. And if you rock with this breakdown, make sure you subscribe to Drip Z, like the video, share it, and smash that hype button. It's free, and it really helps the channel grow. Thank you.